Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wake the hell up, turn the volume way up, because we've got another NFL Divisional breakdown episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cobold, with my guy, Max Faulkner, and making his debut on the pod from the Bay Area, the biggest 49er fan I know, my guy, Z Manley. Z, what's up, bro?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. Happy to be here. Happy to talk about my boys.
Oh, yeah. What jersey is that, by the way? What jersey are you wearing right now?
This is a Cap jersey. My sister got me this way
Colin
back
Kaepernick.
2013, man. We thought he was the truth. But these days, you see the front, I can say it's a Travarius Ward jersey. You know, it still works.
Yeah,
It still works.
Nice. Max, what's up with you? What do you think about this division real quick? How
Oh,
excited
man.
are you to break this down?
Fun division, lots of fantasy football. A lot of fantasy football guys that you want on your team. I'll tell you right now. I'm sorry, I'm mesmerized by the Mickey Mouse San Francisco blanket in the background. Wearing number 10. Is that a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey?
Jimmy
that
G?
Mickey Mouse is wearing?
Oh, man.
Is that Jimmy?
It's
How-
double zeros. It's double zeros.
Okay, all
All
right.
right. Don't flame me just yet, man. Don't flame me just yet. This is another memento, man. This is when I was in high school. I got the whole kit, man. A 49ers themed 18th
Wow.
birthday. And so this is actually two blankets sewn together. So I even got like two little 49er Mickey Mouses.
How sticky or crusty is that blanket?
Oh,
Since you-
not this one, man. Come
Crusty.
on now. Not
Crusty.
this one. Not
It's
this
flaking.
one.
All right.
That baby's flaking.
We take care of these babies, man. We take care of them.
That baby might be flaking back there. Looking at the NFC from last season, boys, the 49ers. These 49ers took home this division at 12-5. The Rams slipped in a wild card at 10-7. The Seahawks, a solid third-place team at 9-8, and the Cardinals were definitely in that basement at 4-13. Max, any thoughts from those teams' records from last season?
I mean, 49ers, we knew they were going to kill it. We thought that the Seattle Seahawks were going to have a better year. Can you believe that Geno Smith has this miraculous season where he's quarterback 5 in fantasy, and then, you can't throw the ball to DK. DK had like 63 catches. What the hell is that all about? The Rams, man, why did we sleep on the Rams? Okay, you can't sleep on Sean McVay, man. That guy's a hell of a coach. Hell of a coach. It's a fun division this year, even with Kyler Murray coming back, and now he's got Marvin Harrison Jr. It's going to be a pretty fun division.
This is definitely a fun division. Z, give me your thoughts on the standings from last season.
Based off this, coming off the standards from last season, it's about it as I expected. The boys coming out on top, another year of absolute dominance, not dropping a game against another NFC West team. Exactly what we needed. But my big takeaway is probably the Cardinals, and I just don't know if we're gonna see much improvement.
Yeah.
From there. That's my tidbit. I'll get into that later.
Yeah,
but as far as the Rams and the Seahawks, just like you guys are saying, I thought they'd be a lot more, especially coming off the year they had that year before in the Rams. Yeah. I mean, the emergence of Puka Nacua next to Cooper Kupp. Oh my gosh, man. This year's going to be crazy. Last year, for them to do what they did, this year's going to be scary, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little worried about what that Rams offense can do.
Yeah.
Definitely, this is not 49ers don't have this locked down. Definitely, Rams and Seahawks are going to be fighting, and I think the Cardinals are going to be better. So we'll be debating the Cardinals here, I think, today. But let's get into our positional rankings for the NFC West. At the quarterback, boys, at the quarterback position, I'm going to lead us off here. I'm going Kyler Murray at the top. I like him. I like his legs. Wow. I got him at the top. Followed by Brock Purdy. I think the fantasy world is sleeping on Brock Purdy. He was 4th in MVP last year. He led the NFL in touchdown percentage, yards per attempt, yards per completion, passer rating, quarterback rating. I think he's going a little too late. He might be a sleeper this year, but then I'm going Matthew Stafford and Geno Smith in the basement there. Max, you agree or disagree with me?
Slightly disagree with you on the top. I am definitely going Brock Purdy at the top. In that system where the 49ers has, it doesn't matter who the hell the quarterback is. They just know where everyone is at. It's so technical. So he's going to have a good season. Kyler Murray, I do have number 2 because of his legs, and I do like Marvin Harrison Jr. a lot. Okay, I might have to go for a first round draft pick. First round. Well, technically it's our third round, everybody. Once again, 2 keeper leagues, so technically our third round. All right. So let's settle down. Matthew Stafford at number 2. The weapons, and the Geno Smith. Dude, DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith Najigba is going to have a good season this year. Okay, dude, these quarterbacks have weapons all over the place. It's
Yeah.
pretty fun division for these quarterbacks.
Z, are you going to surprise us with your quarterback rankings?
I think I'm going to surprise you, but maybe my leadoff might take a little bit of the edge off. I'm going Purdy at 1. Obviously, for the same reason Max made a lot of really great points. Regardless of how you feel about Purdy, it can't be overlooked that last year, amazing season, coming off of UCL surgery, first season,
Yeah.
whole offseason to work with the team,
True.
train, get in the lab. He's looking big this year. I love
Oh.
Purdy at number 1.
Oh.
Number 2, I got to go Stafford.
Ooh.
As much as
Okay.
I agree, Seahawks got the weapons, but Stafford's got the arm, and Stafford's just got 2 elite wide receivers out there. I'm not sleeping on Lockett and Metcalf, but for that reason, I'm going Geno at 3. And
Damn.
I'm sorry, Kyler's got some ground to make up, man. We saw a great 2 years ago. That Cardinals team, electric, man. That was elite, but I need to see that could be reproduced, and with this wide receiver room, honestly.
Yeah.
Spicy. We're gonna be talking about Kyler Murray later. Definitely smell a brew bet coming between you and me, Z. Definitely a brew bet coming. The running back position for the NFC West, it ain't no doubt about it. At the top, the 49ers. They only need one name here, Christian McCaffrey, the big dog, the fantasy MVP. I am worried about that strained calf. At 28 years old, I am worried about it. That's why I don't have him as my top-ranked running back. But I do have him as the top-ranked running back in this division. Then I'm going Rams with Kyron Williams, my guy from Notre Dame. Blake Corum, ain't no scrub as the backup. A lot of tutties at Michigan. Speaking of tutties, Kyron Williams became only the second running back in the last 40 years to score 15-plus total touchdowns while playing in 12 games or fewer. Priest Holmes was the other one to do that. Kyron Williams, a lot of tutties. Then I'm going Seattle. I think this is a good running back division right here. Walker and Charbonnet, that's a solid combo. I like Kenneth Walker this year. And Arizona at the bottom, James Conner, last season of his contract. He always gets hurt, never played a full season. But when he's out there, he's producing. But definitely in the bottom, I'm looking at Trey Benson as a possible late-round sleeper as a handcuff there. Max, you going to agree or disagree with me there?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. The one other thing I'll bring up about the Rams with Kyron Williams, since he tends to get injured as well, Blake Corum, that is a sleeper pick for sure. Okay, you can probably get him in a late round. The guy is just so bulky. He's going to get some goal line work, no doubt about it. But other than that, everything else that you said, Cobrizi, I completely agree with.
Blake Corum and Trey Benson, definitely some solid handcuffs in this division. Z, what's your running back rankings looking like?
I'm right there with you guys as far as the running back rankings go. I got my Stanford track and field. The only thing Stanford I own, I had to put something up for my boy CMC. Had to rep him some way. The other tidbit that people are sleeping on, Jordan Mason. While we're talking about these running room, Jordan Mason talks in training camp right now. Beast mode. These are the nicknames coming out, man. And I'm not there. I don't got the camera. I'm not the one writing these beat reports down. But the fact that you got anybody even coming close to a beast mode behind a McCaffrey, especially with this strained calf, there's somebody else to look out for.
Good handcuff. Okay. Good handcuff. Okay. What? How else are you going to rank those running backs in the division?
Oh, I'm going same order as you guys. We're going Niners. Yep. Niners, Rams, Seahawks, and then the Cardinals. And really with the Cardinals, I want to trust James Conner more because like you're saying, when he's out there, he's productive. He's a workhorse, especially in this offense. It's going to be, we'll get into the rest of the positions later, but just given what Arizona has, I feel like James Conner has a chance to shine this year. But the problem is, can't trust him.
Yeah.
Looking at the wide receiver position, boys, we got a lot of fantasy assets here. We got a lot of fantasy assets in this division. Wide receiver position, I can see we being real off on this one, but I am going the Rams. I am going Puka and Cooper Kupp at the top. That might be the best duo in the league. We can debate that later. Might be. It's up there. Another great duo, Brandon Ayuk and Debo for your Niners. I like that Debo. I had Ayuk last year, big playability. And then I'm going Seattle. That's crazy that you're putting DK and JSN and Lockett at third. It's crazy, but that's what I'm doing. And then I can't wait for Marvin Harrison like you, Max. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people wanting Maserati Marv, but unfortunately, they don't have anybody behind him. Michael Wilson, the wide receiver, too, sleeping on that. I'm going Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals. Max, you agree or disagree?
Completely agree. Everyone that you named, they're going to be drafted in your fantasy football draft. These aren't guys you're going to be picking up off waivers. So, I mean, man, this is a juicy division. I mean, every name that we've just tossed
Woo.
out, I mean, including quarterbacks, it's like,
Yeah.
wow. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. So what a
Yeah.
fun, it's going to be points galore. What a fun division.
Z, break down this wide receiver position for me.
Man, and as much as I love my Niners, I would love to slam them into that number one spot. But Puka and Cooper Kupp are just two threats that cannot be ignored. Just an absolute doghouse for the wide receivers for the Rams right now. Both just PPR machines. You got the short game, they've got the deep game. These receivers could do anything, man. And this coming from a guy, we got a Debo. I'm used to a receiver that could do anything, man.
Right,
But
right.
these guys cannot be ignored. So I'm gonna have to follow suit and keep those Rams receivers up at that one spot. And at that two, little worried with what's gonna happen with IU.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine. We're getting closer and closer to the season. I feel like we're past the point of no return, and he'll end up sticking around. But just as the receiver room stands right now, say even if Ayuk isn't there, and nobody wants that. Nobody wearing my colors wants that, right?
Right.
Even with Debo and Juwan Jennings, I think I still comfortably have them at that number 2 spot. Juwan Jennings had such a breakout year last year. Another person to keep an eye on. Unfortunately, I think he falls into that low flex spot, really until we see some more value out of him.
Yeah.
But that's somebody else. We're saying all these names you're not going to find on the waivers. Juwan Jennings is the type of person to look out for if you're dealing with injuries later down the season. And then the Seahawks, nail on the head with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I've given up on sleeping on Tyler Lockett, man. I've been saying this guy's going to fall off the last 3 years.
Consistent.
Impossible, man. Impossible. Tyler Lockett is always going to have that 20-point game when you least expect it. You're going to be kicking yourself you left him on the bench.
Yep.
And Smith and Jigba, I'm not going to lie to you. Jury's still out on him. I think he's nice. But I think he falls into that Juwan Jennings category for me. I'm not really comfortable flying him at my wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 spot.
No.
Yeah. You're looking at a later flex position, and then the Cardinals room. It's Maserati Marv parked in a trailer park. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Maserati Marv parked in the trailer park. I like that.
That's a good one.
I like that, Z. Moving into the tight end position for the NFC West. Might be some debate at the top. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go Trey McBride. Only 2 tight ends last year, averaged at least 2 yards per route run. Travis Kelce and Trey McBride. I think a big year is coming. He already had a solid year last year. I'm going George Kittle second in that division. We know George Kittle. He's got a lot of fireworks. He can give you 3 touchdowns in a game. But for me, Z, I'm sorry, a little bit too boom or bust. He had 3 or fewer catches in 10 out of 16 games last year. 3 or fewer catches in 10 out of 16 games. That's not enough for me. Going Noah Fant there for the Seahawks third. And I'm going with the Rams last, whatever the hell they're doing with Davis Allen and Colby Parkinson. That's a queef show right there. Max, you agree or disagree?
I completely agree with you. I think Trey McBride's going to have a breakout season. He had a great season last year. George Kittle's awesome. I like George Kittle a lot. He's a beast. But again, you said it, Cole Brizzi. He's a lot of hit or miss, and he has some injury problems as well. But as far as that, those are the only 2 tight ends that you'll be drafting from this division.
Z, are you going after Kittle first or McBride first in this division?
When I play fantasy, it's always so hard for me to push out the feelings and, just try to come in just, cold, steeled, absolutely focused. There's no way I'm passing up on Kittle. I just can't bring myself to do it. The boom potential is too big. Trey McBride is the obvious move to go. If you're not a Niners fan, this is where you need to be looking. And most leagues I've been seeing, McBride's going after Kittle.
Ooh.
Everybody's going for the big name in George Kittle. Everybody wants that boom. Everyone's like me. They see the 3 touchdown game and they want him. I think McBride is due for a breakout season this year. But let's be honest, McBride's a better fantasy QB. We're not saying he's a better or fantasy tight end. We're not saying he's a better tight end overall.
Sure.
The problem is you don't get points for pancakes. You're not getting points for blocks. That's the problem here. And so if I had to lock up my Niner heart here, guys, you got to be smart. You got to go McBride here. It's a no brainer. I mean, Kittle's going to have those awesome games. You're going to wish you drafted him. But as far as your fantasy points go, and you wanted to hoist that crown over the rest of the boys at the end of the season, got to go McBride.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I agree with Max here. No fan. No, I mean, no one's looking at him. You're looking like in an injury late in the season. Someone's on a bye week. You got to pick up a tight end. And the Rams, I mean, come on. I thought the Cardinals were the ones lost in this division. What's going on?
Uh-huh.
Good rankings there, boys. Let's get in to our biggest queefs and biggest sleepers of the NFC West. I'm going to lead us off here, boys. I always got a big one every year. I got a big one right here. I'm going to Los Angeles and Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua.
Puka! Oh my! Oh,
this is why, boys.
Wish Cooper Kupp. I would have took Cooper Kupp over Puka.
Let's listen up here, boys. Turn the volume up. Puka Nacua, he set NFL rookie records with 105 receptions and 1,486 receiving yards. Both of those rookie records. But this is why he's a queef for me. This is why he's going to mess up my panties on Sunday nights. He is currently being drafted on ESPN as the 13th overall player. The 13th overall player. Yeah. He is not the 13th best fantasy player in the NFL, boys. That's why he's a queef for me. He practiced on Monday, 2 days ago, for the first time since August 4th. He ain't practiced since August 4th. He tore a bursa sac in his knee.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Pain. He had some swelling. Okay. This can lead to sepsis, boys. This can lead to infection throughout the body. So they were really careful about this. First time he practiced was Monday since August 4th. And boys, you mentioned Cooper Kupp. He looks healthy. We know he's breakfast buddies with Matthew Stafford, the bacon and eggs that they're sharing. We know they're good buddies. Last year, Cooper Kupp had more targets, receptions, and touchdowns in the red zone than Puka did. When they get in close, if they're not giving it to Kyron, if Matthew Stafford's dropping back, he's looking for Cooper Kupp. 13th overall for Puka Nacua is way too high for a guy who's had one great season and was the 177th overall pick in his draft. He was a 5th-round pick. It's not like this guy's from Alabama, went first round. This guy went in the 5th round from BYU. Puka Nacua going as the 13th overall player is crazy to me, boys. Z, what do you think about? Are you spending the 13th overall pick on Puka, an early 2nd-round pick?
Oh man, I've got a confession to make here.
Oh, you already got him
on the turn. Early 2nd-round pick.
1-2 turn.
Nice.
So you're in.
I'm not. So hear me out. So the reason why I'm going Puka, dude. I mean, this guy's just a more efficient Lad McConkey that's proven he could do it at the NFL level. Even with Cooper Kupp coming back, we saw at the end of the season last year. He's still getting looks. He's still getting reps. And I think and to clarify, in a PPR league, it's just too valuable to look past, man. I believe he set the rookie record for most receptions in the season too, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I mean, even if those numbers take a dip, you're still talking way over most standard wide receivers that you're getting. And in that offense, we're talking about a Sean McVay offense. This is an offense I'm fine dipping into a receiver where I know the room's busy, but it's not going to pull away from either guy. That's my concern I would have for, when you're looking at Debo, Brandon, George. That's why George has his weeks where he's a little down because, they're feeding everybody.
Right.
Rams are going to have no problem feeding both of these guys. So
definitely.
I agree. It's a little high. I agree. It's a little high. Hey, I'll take that all day, man. I'll take that all day. I think Puka's gonna have. I don't think it's gonna be as incredible as last year.
It can't be.
No. But I think he's gonna be a solid 2nd-round pick come the end of the season.
Max, are you spending in a redraft league, 2nd round, 13th overall on Puka, a guy who was drafted 177th in his draft?
In our league, he will be a 1st-round pick. Okay, he will be a 1st-round pick. But I will say right now, two keeper league. So this will be our 3rd round. He will be a 1st-round pick.
I agree.
I'm nervous about that knee, though, Cole Breezy. I thank you for giving me that information because I didn't see it. I did not see that. Went right past me. Oh my goodness. He'll be dropping in because I got my big board. I get my big board going right here, boys and girls.
Get
my big board right. And I have him in my first round. He might be dropping. Oh, my goodness. That scares me.
He went from August 4th to August 26th not practicing. Now, does he need reps with Matthew Stafford? Probably not with the season he had, but definitely that takes him down for me. He's not going to be 13th overall. Definitely Brew Bet coming for us there, Z. Max, give us your biggest queef for the division.
Oh, Z, you're not going to like this one.
No!
Okay?
He ain't liking a lot tonight.
I got wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. All right, Brad, I'm telling you right now, the beef. He's just bad beef, man. It's like when you leave beef in the fridge for too long, you open it up, oh, what is that? That's what's going on in the locker room. You guys just went to a Super Bowl. You just went to a Super Bowl, and this guy's saying, no, pay me more. Pay me more. You kidding me? What about the chemistry? What about the team? I understand he needs to get paid. He's a good wide receiver. He should be getting paid. But dude, you're letting the team down, and he's just bad beef, man. He's bad beef. I think it's a bad situation, and I don't know. I don't know what if Debo has to go and smack him across the head and say, hey, what the hell are you doing? We need to wake up and because kickoff is on Thursday, or 49ers might be Monday. It's Sunday. Yeah. But oh man, he makes me nervous, and I'm not excited about Brandon Ayuk this year, boys.
17.9 yards per reception last year. I had him. I was happy with him as my wide receiver too.
Great season.
But Z, how do you see this playing out with Brandon Ayuk and your Niners?
Like I said, I think he'll be back. I think everything, it'll smooth over, but like Max was saying, it can't be ignored. Just the tension it's built up in the locker room, and you've had guys there all off season, been in every day. Ayuk's been at practice, not practicing, finally showing back up. And I can't tell you how sick of getting onto Twitter every day I am, seeing, contract near completion. We're just talking about years. Like, I'm at the point right now where I'm like, you know what? Let's just let him do what he wants to do. He could go make all the money he wants in Pittsburgh. Let's lock up Trent Williams. How about that? Like, that this is where I'm concerned about now is if we have to choose between one or the other. Would I love Ayuk to, start a 49er, retire a 49er? Absolutely. But if this is what it leads to, and dealing with this kind of drama before, even injuries have become a thing. We know the injuries are coming, man. Niners love an injury.
Oh, it's true.
And so with just everything going on, to have this be the way it starts. I mean, if you asked me a month and a half ago, I would have been like, give him whatever money he deserves. Like, just get him back. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, man, we've got a lot of hungry guys in there. Yeah. We got Cowling showing up in the preseason this year. Like I said, Juwan Jennings. We've got cats, Ricky Pearsall finally come back to practice. We got guys that if Purdy can fit into this system, I guarantee you any of these other guys could fit into the system. I'm not downplaying Ayuk's value here, but there's room for somebody else to step up. We're, like I said with the injuries, we're a next man up mentality. And if that's what it comes to with Ayuk, that's where I'm at. Next man up.
Next man up.
Mm-hmm. It's that system, man. It's that system. If he doesn't want it, some other guy's going to slide right in there. There's no doubt about it.
We need to get a resolution there soon for fantasy drafts, as they're happening as we speak, boys. They're happening as we speak. Quickly, Z, give us your biggest queef of the NFC West.
Oh, man, my biggest queef. Let me double check here. It's been so long, My biggest queef. Now I feel bad. I'm really beating up on these boys. My biggest queef was James Conner.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Currently sitting at RB19.
Ooh.
So
hi.
Exactly what I was talking about earlier. You're talking about a guy who you're not to draft this guy and expect to get a whole season out of him is just not realistic. But that's what you're drafting him for at RB19. That's what you need him for. You need him to step up. Every other running back in this division, you are happy grabbing. Quarterback wise, there's some talk about the quarterbacks. I won't get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Tight ends, those guys, that's just a collective queef. We're not worried about those guys. But if you're talking about a skilled position coming out of this division that you just want to stay away from, it's gotta be James Conner for me. He just year after year has proven there's only one thing he can do, and that's be flashy, make you feel good for a couple of games, and then right off into the sunset until you're playing in your 10th place game. And James,
Yeah.
oh, he's back. Get you 24. Where was this all
Yeah.
season?
Right.
No, that queefs off my team this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year for James Conner has never played a full season. Drafting him at running back 19, that's way too high. I'm with you there, Z. Max, quickly on James Conner and give us your biggest sleeper of the division.
Yeah, no, you said everything that needs to be said. This guy always gets injured, and it's so frustrating. When you put him in, he's going to give you some. He's going to give you some support. But like, what? This is going to be our fourth, fifth rounder for us, Cobreezy, in our league, and that's too high. That's too high. It's not a guy that gets injured so much. It's not something I want. But all right, let's go to the biggest sleeper. Hey, I said this guy last year. And I'm going to say it again. Zach Charbonnet from the Seattle Seahawks. All right. Great backup running back. Catches the ball in the backfield. When Kenneth Walker III went down, I still had Zach Charbonnet. I drafted him as well. So he slid right back into that. And he was putting up basically the same numbers as Kenneth Walker was doing. It was unbelievable. And then Kenneth Walker came back in a couple of games. So it's not like it was, but for those 2 games, he saved me. I wouldn't sleep on Zach Charbonnet. He's a damn good running back.
Charbonnet solid, definitely. If Kenneth Walker goes out, I'll definitely be looking at him for sure. Z, give us quickly your thoughts on Charbonnet and your sleeper in the division.
Yeah, Charbonnet. I think I just watched this episode. What year are we in? I think that was verbatim exactly what I heard.
Yeah, you heard that from last year.
Nailed it.
No, Max nailed it. Just pretty much, you're just replacing right back into it. Doesn't have I would say like the lateral quickness that
Right.
Gainwell has, or sorry, Kenneth Walker has, but fits in just perfectly. And just a great person to have ready to go in case anything happens. Knock on wood, because I have Kenneth Gainwell. But my sleeper, I'm going Geno Smith here.
Oh,
and for me, this was really tough because I wanted to slam Purdy here because I've already had 2 drafts, and the rounds I'm seeing Purdy go at for someone that was QB6 last year, criminal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Criminal in my opinion. So I was sitting there, oh, is this too much of a homer? I was already going to set up the stuff. I didn't want to be too on the nose here tonight. So I had to dig a little deep, and Geno Smith coming in at QB 24 off a down year.
Yep.
Seems a little egregious. You're telling me you can get somebody with weapons like Geno Smith, and if he's back to form, you're looking at a possible top 12 QB, if not higher.
Oh my!
The upside's just too good to ignore at that value that he's currently going for. Even Purdy's not that low. I mean, Purdy slept on, but they still got him at QB 12, QB 13. In terms of just difference, it's got to be Geno Smith coming in at QB 24.
Anything on Geno, Max?
I like that. His weapons are incredible, including the backfield, once again, with Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. He will also be throwing to them, so he will get the points from the running back and the wide receivers. Yeah, I like it.
We definitely have a brew bet here, Z, because my biggest sleeper of the NFC West, I'm also going to quarterback. No surprise, Arizona Cardinal, Kyler Murray. We got a brew bet here, boys. Geno versus Kyler. Last season, Kyler only played 8 games after returning from a torn ACL from Week 14 in 2022. So now he's almost 2 years removed from that ACL. He's going to be almost fully recovered here. The Cardinals started last season at 1-8. They were terrible 1-8. Kyler comes back in. The Cardinals were top 10 in yards, points per game, and plays to finish the season. And Kyler was quarterback 9 in points per game. First 3 seasons for Kyler when he was healthy, he was quarterback 8 as a rookie, then quarterback 3, then quarterback 10. He's never not been a starter in fantasy, boys. His second season, I like my rushing quarterbacks. His second season, he rushed for 819 yards and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can't give me more than 5 guys that can do that in the NFL, boys. If he's fully healthy from this ACL, and that's in the possibility, oh my goodness, he's going to blow Geno Smith out of the water. Kyler, he's currently going as quarterback 10 in the mid-9th. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'll take Kyler Murray in the mid-9th every draft I can, boys. Z, we already know you don't like Kyler.
I'm not a fan, man. I'm not a fan.
Max, I know you're going Kyler over Geno, but what do you think about Kyler being a possible sleeper?
Z, I noticed that's a gaming chair that you're sitting in. I think it's the same chair that Kyler Murray plays in.
Took it
True.
from him.
Go
Took it from
Breezy,
him.
you might have to look into this. You guys can be
Secret
gaming
labs.
buddies. Gaming buddies. Well,
Z, we definitely got a brew bet there with Geno
All
and
right.
Kyler this season for sure. Z, why don't you lead us off here to finish up this episode with your final standings prediction? Who's going to win this? Is someone going to get a wild card? How does this play out?
I want to be spicy, man. I really want to. I want to shake things
Always
up.
want
But
to.
obviously, the top, in my opinion, it's got to be my boys. Got to be my 49ers. If everything goes according to plan and nothing crazy happens, we should be able to lock up the division again this year. Now, the second spot, like I was talking about earlier, this is where I feel like it might get a little out there. I'm actually going to go Seattle over the Rams in this division.
Juicy.
And if it hasn't been clear how I feel about the Cardinals, you could just slot those boys in last. I don't think it's going to be a terrible year, but I don't see this team winning more than 8 games.
8 games, yeah.
Yeah.
Max, break down that division. How's it going to finish?
just a little bit different. I do have the 49ers on top. I have the Rams at number 2. I think it's going to be a battle between the 49ers and the Rams to try to take that division. I do think the 49ers have the better team, but man, I'd be a little scared. I'd be a little scared of what the Rams are going to do, okay?
Sure.
Seattle, number 3. Arizona, number 4. I believe that San Francisco obviously will make the playoffs, and the Rams will make the playoffs. That's it. That's it from that division.
We're all a little different here, boys. I think this might be the first pod that we've had, Max, where all three of us have a different prediction, but we all have the same champion here, the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, top 5 coach. Okay, not enough people are talking about him.
Yeah.
Rams, I got him second, boys, getting a wild card. I got the Rams in there with those weapons. If Kyron Williams can stay healthy, oh my goodness. It was a toss-up for me for third and fourth here. It was a toss-up, but I do see improvement like I was talking about for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm on Kyler. I'm on Trey McBride, Maserati Marv. I got him barely squeaking out maybe by a game or 2 over the Seahawks. We don't know what's going to happen with Pete Carroll leaving Seattle. I do like Grubb coming in from Washington. I do like that air raid attack. But definitely a fun division. Yeah. Might be the most fantasy assets of any division. It might be, boys. That's a debate to have. Z, we appreciate you joining us tonight, brother.
Hey, man, my pleasure.
Anything you got for the people about your Niners or this division before you get out of here? You gonna make a Super Bowl prediction? What do you got?
Man, all I'm saying is I'm 29, and the last time the Niners won a Super Bowl was 30 years ago.
Ooh, ain't seen it.
Due.
Whoa.
I'm due.
Whoa.
All right. The team's not due. I'm due. All right.
He's due.
I'm due. And this is the year, man. We got to make it happen. Contracts get too hectic after this year, man. So that's the thing to watch. So, if you see my team falling out, just know, no, I'm hurt. No, I'm hurt. That's real. This is the end of the window, man. I think we'll still have time, but this is for this kind of team, man, with the personnel on this team, man, you can't keep them all together after this year.
Yeah.
So I think, even if you don't like the Niners, man, just have fun watching good football.
Sure.
This is going to be one of the last times we're going to see a team like this put together, make a run. And a lot of times that team doesn't win, but we're due. I'm due. All right. I'm due.
I hear you. You definitely do 2 Super Bowls here recently, two runner-up finishes. So definitely knocking on the door. I definitely, if you're a betting man, you definitely got to sprinkle some on the Niners for a Super Bowl championship. Definitely. Max, take us home, baby.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast to break down the NFC West. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to let us know how you feel in the comments. Who's going to win this division? Who are the top players in fantasy that you're going to take? Are you going to be a queef like Cole Breezy and go draft Kyler Murray super high because he
over Geno? 9th round. I'm taking Kyler over Geno. Put that in the comments too. Geno or Kyler.
Are you going to get a Kyler Murray jersey or a Danny Dime jersey this year, Cole Breezy? After we just talked about that NFC East, and we know you love Danny Dimes.
How about? I loved him last year. How about this? If I win a fantasy championship, I'll get a Kyler Murray jersey shirt. I'll fucking get one.
Put it down. Put it down. He'll get a Kyler. Okay,
Write that down.
right
It's
now,
out there.
we got it. We
It's
got
out there. If I win this year and I have Kyler on my team, damn it, I'll get a jersey shirt, baby.
All right, Danny Dimes with that one too.
2 for 1.